I'm all for free speech, even for Jew-hating bigots. It's one of the rights of being a Canadian citizen, is you get to have mean feelings. I'm not sure if it's so smart to import every Jew-hating bigot from the world's hellholes and bring them to our country. That's a different matter. As you can see, these folks are rallying in our once peaceful country. Extremists marked Palestinian Political Prisoners Day in Toronto. That's what they call terrorists. But here's what gets me. These Jew haters shout things like Netanyahu is Hitler. Without human rights commissions or hate speech complaints, the peaceful pro-life protesters are faced with, like just last week, Bill Whatcott being arrested and handcuffed in Regina. Well, our Arabic-speaking Middle East expert, Jonathan Halevi, a retired lieutenant colonel in the Israeli army, he joins us now with more. Jonathan, welcome to the show. You know, it's not even rare anymore to have a bunch of, they're not even citizens yet in many cases. People just landed here from Palestinian Authority, from Pakistan, from some of the most extremist countries in the world, and they're bringing their Jew hatred with them and shouting it on the streets in Toronto. That's not even rare anymore, is it?
This demonstration was organized by the Palestine House in Mississauga with coordinations with other extreme radical leftist organizations, including, by the way, Jewish organizations and Choir.
Choir, that's Queers Against Israeli Apartheid. They try and march in the Gay Pride Parade against Israel, right?
Yes. So, and their agenda was very simple. So they compared Israel, Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, to Hitler, and Israel to the Nazis. And on the other side, and this is the distorted moral compass, they said that they argued that all Palestinian prisoners convicted terrorists in Israeli jail are political prisoners.
So people who are convicted, and by the way, they don't hide it. They're proud of it, that they bomb and shoot and kill. So it's not even like these people say they're innocent. In many cases, these convicted murderers and terrorists boast about it, like our own Omar Khadr does.
Yes, you can find it on Hamas website and on other websites of terrorist organizations. They speak proudly of what they did by dispatching suicide bombers into Israeli restaurant, etc.
I want to show one more clip, and then I'm going to ask you who this fella is. Take a look.
Zionists are taking over Canada. They're taking over our government. Zionism is racism, and they're taking over our government.
So the Zionists are taking over our government. Zionist is usually a code word for Jews. Who is that guy? His English is pretty good, so it sounds like he's been here for a while. Who is that guy?
This guy is Elias Hazine. He's the former president of the Palestine House in Mississauga. If you remember, last year at the Al-Quds Day, he also had a speech, and he gave ultimatum to what he called Israelis. He meant implicitly Jews, of course, to leave immediately the area of Palestine unless he recommended to open fire at them.
And now you told me just before we went on air that when you engaged these folks, I guess they recognized you, or at least realized you weren't on their side. Now, we've got a clip of this. We don't have time for it today, but just tell me, what did they say at you? What did they shout at you when they realized you weren't on their side?
I just took pictures of the demonstration for Shalom Toronto newspaper. I'm a journalist, and I did not engage in talking, in conversation with anyone, just standing, and taking pictures. So one guy told Elias Hazina that there's someone who's taking pictures, videotaping him, and he said, I don't mind, he is maniuk. Maniuk, which means that is a swearing, it's a curse, that meaning that I'm gay, that practice. So
would that be equivalent to the English word fag?
I would say yes.
And that's in Arabic, maniuk?
Maniuk, yes.
So he called you the Arabic word for
someone
fag.
who practice sexual activity like gay. This is the meaning of that.
So this is a rally co-sponsored by Queers Against Israeli Apartheid, co-sponsored by the Gay Pride Group. He's calling you a fag in Arabic.
Yes.
Incredible. Well, hell, he calls Netanyahu a Nazi and Israel the Nazis. And this is being imported en masse to our country. I'm worried about this. I'm glad you're documenting it, Jonathan. Thanks for being on the show.